We all know what the Alien franchise is, and with the new addition to that franchise came a whole new way of marketing the film, which gave a more contextual look at what was to come.
Get away from her, you bitch!
This is what we will be looking at today, and how 20th Century Fox utilised paratextual marketing for Alien Covenant. What is paratext? Firstly, para means alongside, beyond and besides. Secondly, text means, well, the main body of work, mainly books. So if you put those together, you have something that has the meanings that are allude to, above or beyond the printed text. If you think of that in terms of written work, it would refer to the cover of the book, the title, author names, prefaces, introductions, and so on. However, what would it mean for films? Sure, they have most of the things that are the same paratext as books. They have a whole way of pushing beyond those and getting to the viewer more, mainly done in the forms of official trailers, posters, ads, even interviews with cast and crew. But why are these so important? As Philippe Pellichan said, the fringe of the printed text, which in reality controls the whole reading. This has meant that the things that surround the media is basically the sampler. You try it, and if you enjoy it, you head straight in. What does Alien Covenant do that's so special? Unlike other films that were released last year, Covenant did something spectacular. They had different ways of marketing the film. Along with the official trailers, they had accompanied that with one 56-second short film about Daniels, which takes a deeper look into her character and how she would react to certain situations. This is followed by a short film called Prologue, The Last Supper. And again, this is a deeper look into how the crew bonds with one another, and a quick glance at James Franco's character. They've also added 5 crew messages from mostly important crew members, which are short films that start around 17 seconds, and they show a deeper insight into how these people work. This approach to marketing a film is very different from the standard blockbuster, especially when they hold so much importance to the main text. And because Alien is a franchise that has spanned across decades, they include a fill-in short film called The Crossing, which is a short film filling the gap between Prometheus and Alien Covenant. It is a good way to give major fans of the franchise something so much more than the general audiences would appreciate. And as Gerald Gillette claimed, the only way to approach the text is through its paratext. And so, on the way to any given original text, we encounter all of these paratexts. The paratexts are like an appetizer to the main course of the text itself. This pretty much goes for what Alien Covenant is creating. Not only did they create short films, they had a whole marketing campaign which involved Snapchat and Facebook filters, customizable videos with fan names in them. They also ran a campaign with Channel 4 for fans to send in their live reactions when watching the trailers. On the line of advertisements, they made one not different from a car ad, which is called Meet Walter. This shows how they built him and how he's the hot new thing on the market. This is a fabulous idea as it makes the world of Alien seem more real. Along with these, Reebok actually made a special line of trainers for them. This would have only happened because of the weight Alien has on the world. Along with this, they released a special Oculus Rift VR experience. And as Jonathan Gray states, paratexts are absolutely integral in terms of marketing, and in terms of grabbing an audience to watch a thing in the first place. It is clear that paratext works in conjunction with the main text. As both Jonathan Gray and Gerald Gillette state, marketing simply wouldn't work without it, especially as this covers all areas of marketing. But when the marketing is so close to maintaining the story, wouldn't this affect the flow of the enjoyment of the viewers? Would this type of paratextual marketing ruin the unity of effect? As stated by Edgar Allan Poe, if too long to be read at one sitting, we must be content to dispense with the immensely important effect derivable from unity of impression. If anything, this means that having so many different outlets of media that builds the collective story could ruin the flow of enjoyment, especially when these short stories are so important for character building and for the audience to get the best view of the film. Of course, it stands to reason, if they wanted this desired effect on the viewer, a more fragmented view would go hand in hand with Alien, getting one piece of information one piece at a time, wondering what would happen to these characters. Will they die? Will they all live? What is the basis of the plot between it all? But would this way of a connected universe harm the main text? As Richard Raskin says, a short film that confuses or overwhelms the viewer with too complex a plot or too many details is likely to hold the viewer at a distance. As a theory goes, it's not bad. You don't want to hold the viewers at a distance, especially with a horror genre. You want to grab them by the shoulders and drag them in. When looking at Poe's and Raskin's theories, it's only right to assume that having this type of paratextual marketing could harm the overall enjoyment of the main text. And as we all know, Alien Covenant didn't receive the best reception that it could have. I believe this is mainly due to the fact that the key paratext short films were missing. They had crucial plot points in mostly hard to reach places, especially as not everyone knew about them. So because they had so many short films and marketing surrounding the main text, this actually ruined the unity of effect. They ruined the enjoyment and understanding for the audiences. Everything we've learnt so far. From everything that has been stated, it looks as if paratextual marketing is good when it comes to things like the Reebok advert, Meat Water, Snapchat filters. But when it gets in the way of telling a story, they should let it alone. As Gillette says, yet again, paratexts allow us to situate ourselves around text, which is most certainly true. We learn more about the main text, especially with things like the personalization they did for fans. But I seem to agree more with Walter Murch. He states, past a certain point, the more effort you put into a wealth of detail, the more you encourage your audience to become spectators rather than participants. This point seems more appropriate when thinking about the result of these short films. As previously stated, they put too much weight on these short films. Yes, they are very good shorts, but when thinking of it in one big main text, they do fall short and ruin the flow. That could have been done better if it was included in the main text instead of being a paratext. Maybe sometimes paratexts are a good thing to a certain extent,